Tell me about yourself. My name is Ashley Serrier and I'm 21 years old. I work as a direct support professional in a group home. I work with people who have developmental disabilities or behavioral issues, and I help them with things like activities of daily living that involves cooking, cleaning, or even balancing a checkbook, basically stuff that some of us might take for granted. Our ultimate goal is to hopefully get these guys out of a group home and living with minimal to no support. It's a pretty fulfilling position that I think fosters empathy, patience, and it kind of empowers the guys to be able to one day hope for an outside living situation where they don't necessarily have the structure of a group home confining them, and that hopefully they'll be able to, lead productive lives on their own. I go to Lake Sumter State College right now, studying to become a mechanical engineer. Specifically, I would like to work with deep sea exploration. It's something that I am really into, and hopefully, I will graduate in 3 years in the spring. Name a time where you had an issue in your job position. What was the situation, and how was it resolved? The very nature of the job means that there are going to be issues all the time that arise, sometimes even daily. One time in particular that I can think of is when there was a pretty physically aggressive client. There were about three other clients there that day, and I was working with one other staff member. And so this client was throwing things at both staff and residents. He was kicking and he was punching anyone who got basically within 2 feet of him. So me and the other staff member decided that the best course of action was first to prioritize the safety of the other residents. We decided that their bedrooms were the safest places for them at that moment, and they were secure enough. So we started ushering them to their bedrooms. However, we hit a roadblock when the physically aggressive client was in a hallway that provided access to two other bedrooms. So I came up with a plan that I would vertically immobilize the physically aggressive client. What that means is I would restrict forwards, sideways, and backwards movement so that she could safely usher in the other two residents to their bedrooms. This we were able to effectively uh, go through that plan, and she was able to ensure their safety and shut their doors. And then she came out to help me maintain my hold on that one physically aggressive client. We ended up holding him for about 30 minutes, and nobody actually got hurt during that whole situation. And this could have gone pretty terribly. So I'm pretty happy that nobody got harmed and everybody was okay. And at the end of the day, we were all able to come out and enjoy our time again. Name a time when you disagreed with superior. What was it and how was it resolved? I don't typically disagree with my superiors only because it's important to be on the same page to the benefit of the people we work with. But one time that I can remember, there was another physically aggressive individual. This individual, though, had a different profile. He was about 6'4" and maybe 300 plus pounds. So required us to just call the police because when he did get physically aggressive, it was hard to stop him from harming either himself, other clients, or staff members. I disagree with protocol this one time in particular, though, because I know there was an event he was looking forward to that got canceled, unfortunately. Um, Originally, my supervisor did not agree with this, and she wanted to just call the police. But we can't, take forever to make a decision. So she allowed me to talk to him for a brief moment. I was able to get him to the side, and we had a conversation. And come to find out, he was very upset over the cancellation of the event he'd been looking forward to for about 2 months. And he doesn't have much of an outlet. He doesn't have a lot of friends, and he doesn't have any family to talk to. So I talked to him for about an hour and eventually got him to calm down. The situation was de-escalated, and he went into his bedroom to listen to some music. We did end up planning a different event for him that later that week, and I was just happy that we were able to get the situation resolved without having to call police or have to go bring him to an outside facility. Discuss a situation where you went above and beyond, preferably in a job. Um, so there's this prom, an annual prom event sponsored by the community that allows different group homes to have all of the clients get together for a night. It's basically just a prom night. There's the girls wear dresses, the guys wear suits. There's punch, there's music, dancing. It's really sweet, and they all look forward to it every year. Unfortunately, our guys didn't sign up by the deadline though, and so they couldn't go this year. They were all pretty bummed about it. We were bummed as well because it's something everyone looks forward to. So me and a couple other staff members decided that we would have our own prom. And so we picked a day and we got catering, we got music, we had even little pictures for like a photographer, which was really just a staff member, take pictures of the guys in their outfits and they would frame them. So we all danced and had a great night. The guys really enjoyed it. I think they went to bed that night very happy, and it was just really nice to see that we were able to make up for them missing this event that they were really looking forward to with our own event that turned out to be really special and a really great way to end the day. Tell me a situation you would have done differently. What was the situation? How did you handle it? Now looking back, how would you handle it differently? Um, So this situation is another work-related one. We have a resident who likes to take people's items. He steals them, and we are currently working with him to figure out better ways for him to get what he needs without infringing on other people's property. So another resident in the home had lost a pretty expensive item that day from his PC, and so he told me and the other staff member about it. We immediately thought that this other resident who has a propensity to take other people's items might be behind it. So we went and asked him if he took the item. He said no. We pushed a little further and asked him if we might look in his bedroom. He said no. So we left it at that. The damage had already been done though, and he was upset and ended up yelling and screaming. So, come to find out, the other resident had actually misplaced the item and found it in his bedroom in a location he didn't remember putting it in. This made me feel pretty bad because I, in essence, had insulted the dignity of someone who is putting forward a good effort to try and stop taking other people's items. So, from that day, I decided that I would put forward a better effort to maybe launch a thorough search for any items in the house that might be missing so that I can be as tactful and respectful to this other person as possible. And so I did apologize, and now I do make sure that asking him if he took it is basically my last ditch effort. And so far, it's taught me um, a good lesson in future instances when someone's items have been missing. I actually ended up finding it before having to ask him. So we're all doing great in that field, and it's really improved how I work with the guys and how I connect with them.